Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, is it time for a little whinge? The other day, you might have seen this on the news, you might have not. It's not seemed to be covered that well. I don't know why. But the other day, I've seen on the news about the latest government legislation. We all know for the past, few months, things been added on, rules and regulations to make the population somewhat more control, less freedom of speech, that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. But every time something comes up on the news, it looks like they're just taking that step closer to totally, literally eradicating our freedom and choices, as you probably understand. Anyway, so literally the other day, as I said, the news came out that lovely government brought out latest legislation on the advertising. Is basically advertising ban. So from October next year, 2025, there's a whole new advertising thing. Okay, so it's basically going to be banning advertising, right, on junk food. Okay, so it all comes down to the fact that they're talking. There's a lot of kids are currently apparently obese. But then, to be fair, if you generally follow what's kind of happening in the world and in the country, quite often I've heard, and I think we covered this, that apparently they're saying a lot of kids are actually starving. So kids are malnourished, and there's not enough food going around. So they seem to be kind of pushing the two different agendas. They're telling us there's a lot of kids that are hungry, and now they're telling us a lot of kids are obese. So which one kind of is it? Anyway, we all know they tried to tackle the obesity many other ways by introducing the little colored things on the labels, the little yellow traffic light system, basically, which clearly makes no odds to anybody. I just glanced at it, I was like, okay, well, you pretty much know, right? If you pick something up, you really know if it's unhealthy or not. But anyway, some people might rely on this. It's a different matter. But nonetheless, right, so the claim is, okay, so 1 in 10 reception children, so the little ones, it's now obese. 1 in 10, that's a lot, to be fair. I've got a little one that goes in reception at school. I haven't seen one obese kid there, but nonetheless, I appreciate it's potentially area dependent as well, okay? So anyway, and 1 in 5 children by age of 5 will have some tooth decay. Okay, right. By age of 5, their teeth will fall out in next year or so. But nonetheless, okay. So it's costing the NHS more than 11 billion every year. 11 billion sounds quite a lot, but I know what other things cost them many, many billions a year, but again, they don't seem to be doing anything about that. But nonetheless, okay, let's, target the childhood obesity and let's target the companies. It's going to be costing, right, an average company 200 million a year. That's a lot. This is a lot of revenue lost. But again, they don't seem to care, right? As we already understand from many things, they are trying to annihilate everything. And we're talking about the farming, we're talking about small businesses. And in this instance, it's going to be affecting big businesses, let's be frank, because the people that will be doing this advertising are, the main brands that do produce things. They are multi-billion pound companies. So they will be affecting them. So this seems to be like another ploy, just to literally to target and take everything away from us. This is how I look at it. I totally understand, okay, the childhood obesity is not a good thing, okay? But there's also research have proven that, and they actually mention that as well, that by the time the child will grow up, it potentially can outgrow obesity and become normal, excuse me for using those words, and also could be done the other way around. So if the child is deprived of things, then when they come to the adulthood, when they're making their own choices, they potentially can become obese. So it's kind of like, well, what do you do? At the end of the day, the adults, okay, when you are, grown up from your childhood, you make your own choices. When you are a child, then your parents are making choices for you in terms of what you consume. I think a lot of it is to do with the parenting. Just because a kid sees an advert of a crisps on TV doesn't necessarily mean they're going to run around and buy it and start eating crisps on a regular basis. It's down to the parents to let them know that, this is not a healthy choice. Maybe have, 1 pack, whatever, but make them understand what it is. Or in fact, you're making choices for them. But anyway, this is not really the point. The comical part is to which extent they're actually taking this ban. So they're talking about the junk food adverts between 5:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. So anything between that time, okay, it's forbidden. And anything online, gone. So from next year, like if you're on YouTube, you got adverts, there'll be no advert of any food technically, according to what I've understand so far. So the list, okay, of things, it's honestly rather vast and it's rather shocking. So soft drinks, savory snacks, breakfast cereals, cupcakes, sweet biscuits, bars, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much covers every food area, if that makes sense. So we'll come back to the areas in a little bit more detail in a minute. But the fact is, right, is the information and statistics they put that is going to only save like a couple of calories a day an average per kid for not showing adverts, yet is going to cost millions to various companies. You go figure. So, right, let's just go through the list, right? So, soft drinks containing added sugar ingredients. With them, I kind of understand because generally those soft drinks that kids normally drink or adults drink, they are pretty much full of crap, like literally, not just sugar, but other stuff as well. People shouldn't be consuming them. But it is a personal choice for people to do so, okay? So, the next one, we're talking about the savory snacks. So, government says all sizes, shapes and types of snacks fall into the category. So we're talking about the crisp crackers, even the rice crackers, tortilla chips, Bombay mix, all mentioned under the new rules. Even lentil and chickpea based crisps will also face ban. They've been pushing that kind of stuff as a healthy option for a very, very long time, but clearly proves that apparently it's not that healthy after all, or so they say. So breakfast cereals, something like granola muesli, ready-to-eat cereals. Ready-to-eat cereals? And they all ready to eat. It's just a cereal, you just put some milk in. But anyway, so all deemed less healthy. Confectionaries like chocolates and sweets, even the protein bar, the high protein, it's also deemed unhealthy. Things like chocolate-coated nuts, popcorn, sweet popcorn, marshmallows, chewing gum and chocolate bars. Okay, but sugar-free sweets and sugar-free gum, however, are allowed. Ice creams, we totally understand. Cakes and cupcakes, okay, yeah, unhealthy. Sweet and chocolate bar biscuits, cream wafers, exempt under the dairy category. Interesting. Cereal bars, also banned. Nut bars, also banned. Shortbread, banned. Chocolate-coated biscuits, banned. Right, morning goods, crumpets, croissants, cones and pancakes, all deemed to be too unhealthy. They also talking about the porridge. I think that what the outrage is really caused is the amount of items they deem unhealthy. Okay, they say plain porridge oats, so if you just put in front of just blank porridge oats, it's fine. If you have ready-made porridge, it is deemed unhealthy. Yet, it's probably still by far more healthy in breakfast than some. Nonetheless, this is what government tells you. It is unhealthy, okay? So desserts and puddings, okay. So sweetened yogurt and fromage frais are also banned. The only thing is allowed, only natural and sweetened yogurts, such as plain Greek yogurts, so they are exempt. Pizza. Pizza's banned, apart from plain pizza base. And garlic bread is okay. Right, again, logically think about it. Garlic bread, it's bread and butter and garlic and herb, right? So, but butter kind of deemed unhealthy, right? Because, normally it's kind of saturate the bread. That's the idea. So you can't tell me that garlic bread is more healthier than a basic pizza like a margarita. It's just not. It's just not how it goes. It just baffles me. The logic, it really, really does. So potato and sweet potato products, like kids, little smiley face potatoes. Okay, it's processed food, but it's a different question. But the point is, roast potatoes and hash browns and fries and wedges are all in the ban. Again, there are healthy things. There's like potato chunks you can buy. They're literally just raw frozen potatoes, made into chips, pre-prepared. It doesn't make them unhealthy. It just makes no sense. So anyway, they go into ready meals, bread, food, sandwiches, final list of unhealthy, so they'll be banned. So it's ready meals. Again, this is like a can of worms. So as you can see, right, this is really absolutely, utterly ridiculous. I urge you to have a look at the list yourself in the great details. I just don't understand it. And why really that bothers me so much, I love food. I'm a foodie person, channel with, preparedness and the food thing, is when they attack, all right, our food from every angle already, we know with the additives and everything else. And then that's okay though. But then they'll ban the advertising on food that's got sugar. So, okay, what about just ban advertising on food that's got crap in it and additives that we don't want? But no, because they want you to have this crap in there, but they don't want you to have sugar. I just can't get my head around the logic behind that. I don't see why do you need to attack the industry so much. The food industry is literally under attack from every angle. And I know with anything, when they bring anything out, it is all in the name of good. It's always in the name of good. But in this instance, when it's going to cost companies money, to me, it's just blatant attack on those companies. We're already lost, okay? Things changed since 2020, okay? We lost a lot of businesses. They're attacking farmlands, like I already said. With all the taxes, smaller businesses are closing down. A lot of also small businesses that probably rely on those advertisements or advertising as well will probably end up potentially shutting down. I can't remember the number, but there was actually quoted that quite a lot of smaller businesses, because of that cost now, not the cost, because of the advertising ban, apparently are going to be closing down. So at the same time, I think, again, another reason why this bothers me, it is attack on our freedom. Never mind, say, the companies, we cover that, but attack on our choices, okay? If I want to eat a pack of crisps, okay, then I'll have a pack of crisps. I don't see how banning the advertising online gonna affect a child with obesity. To be fair, okay, depends what the kids are watching, but generally, unless you watch BBC with the advert every probably 5 minutes, but generally I don't see the amount of advertising anyway. If you watch like Amazon, they normally advertise their own stuff. Of course, it depends what are you watching. In the end of the day, if they're saying that the kids afterwards potentially going to be grown up and still becoming obese potentially, and vice versa, then all of this idea of them doing this, it's totally pointless. Again, this is just totally my opinion. Some of you might think it's a really good idea, it might have an effect. Chances are, in some people it might, or some kids, it might have an effect, but my little one, if she sees an advert of something, she doesn't necessarily mean to go, oh, mummy, I want to have that, because it's just not how it works. Half of the time, the kids of that age they're talking about don't actually even know what half of that stuff is, because I wouldn't have given it to them, or many parents wouldn't have given it to them because it's deemed unhealthy anyway. So you guys go figure. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting now. I felt like I needed to put this video out because I felt kind of, not say a bit annoyed, but I felt like I needed a rant, because I'm frankly fed up, like many of us, of being deprived of and told what we cannot or cannot do, what we can see or cannot see, what we can eat or cannot eat, and yet at the same time then being fed with some stuff in our bread that shouldn't be there, including, well, I wouldn't say this, but I'll do this in a different video. But nonetheless, guys, that's that. I'm going to be stop ranting now. Please, guys, don't forget, thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It is not all about ranting. It is about preparedness and food, but occasional rant is warranted. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.